the champion. Oh, deep six! That could be it. Delivers this deep six.
What NXT Takeover Vengeance Day that we just saw.
What? Yeah, I mean, you put it in the best way you can. What a great pay-per-view. That was 2.5 hours well spent.
Great show. Hope you guys are all doing well. Whoever's watching, make sure you share this with your friends right now. Send them a message. Let them know that we are on air talking NXT Takeover Vengeance. We're going to start hot right away. We have to do this right now because I can't wait. I cannot wait another half an hour to talk about this. And we got Necktie Violence. What is up, man? Remember you from the last show. How you doing? Hope all is well. But we're going to start off right away with Finn Balor defending his NXT Championship against Pete Dunne. And what a match that we saw. Before we talk about the ending, what did you think of the match, man?
Yeah, I mean, overall, like we said, great pay-per-view the entire way through. You get to this match, we knew that this match was going to be just really psychologically great. I think their in-ring work put together is some of the best. You can really get that technical side. I know Pete Dunne loves to go after, the fingers, manipulate the hands, and Balor is obviously just good in his own right. This match was great. What a really good way to end the show. I was a little surprised by the result, not going to lie. I thought we'd see at least one title be changed throughout the night. But yeah, this was a really good way to end the show.
Let me tell you, Pete Dunne and Finn Balor match up so well together. They worked such a great match. The in-ring psychology was awesome tonight. They flowed well together, and man, does Pete Dunne make those finger-breaking maneuvers look real, and Finn Balor sells them very well.
Yeah, he does. I mean, some of that stuff is always just really brutal to watch, and like you said, Balor does such a great job of selling that, and I think, being able to use that joint manipulation throughout the entire match and really kind of wear down somebody. It's akin to what, Kurt Angle would do with the ankles. You attack an ankle or somebody attacks an arm, and they use that as their submissive move. I think it's a really good job by Pete Dunne. And again, like I said, I was a little surprised by the result, but I think his time's coming. I'm really excited to see what his next year looks like in NXT, because I think he will end up at some point throughout this year being champion.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely see that. But again, like we talked about the other day, the main event scene is kind of a little crowded. I mean, You can't go wrong with Pete Dunne. He could very well go back to UK. I don't think so. Maybe he gets called up if he wants. But you also got Karrion Kross, whom they still have I'm sure they have plans for him. Probably by WrestleMania weekend, I would think.
And we got a new person too. I don't know about his name, LA Knight, but yeah, Eli Drake coming over to NXT. That's gonna be good. It's gonna be interesting.
Knight, formerly Eli Drake from TNA, I believe.
Yeah, from Impact. Yeah,
I thought so. I was pretty sure he was from there.
Yeah, he's good. He's gonna be a big player
He seems NXT. Like good, pretty good on the mic there.
Yeah,
he's pretty impressive tonight.
He's really good.
So yeah, he could definitely talk. I got that good first impression. Hopefully he's a character that we can take seriously for sure.
Yeah, maybe not with that name though.
He definitely put the NXT on notice. Yeah, I don't know about that either. But he definitely put the NXT on notice. He probably wants to keep he wants to keep ownership of that his Eli Drake name. And not to mention you have somebody else named Drake in NXT already. So
yeah, I thought it was interesting, how they introduced him. Normally you see somebody make a big return at the end of the show or somewhere throughout, but he came out on the pre-show, interrupted Sam Roberts, Wade Barrett, and the other guy that they had from Barstool Sports. kind of made his mark, and then they showed a signage, like him signing the contract during the show. So I was expecting, honestly, I didn't even expect him to be in WWE, but for him to make his debut on the pre-show, where again not a lot of people are watching, I was a little bit surprised. But yeah, man, he's going to be a major player. NXT is really set for talent for very long foreseeable future.
Absolutely. So we have Finn Balor won the match tonight. Gruesome match, very hard hitting, stiff at times. Great match that we saw.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to decide on yesterday's prediction show who would really come out the winner tonight. But we did call that Pete Dunne's guys, Only Lorcan and Birch, would come out.
Yeah.
We kind of thought of it more of as like an interference role and maybe costing the belt, but that didn't happen. But they still came out, followed by Undisputed Era comes out, clears the ring. And, here we are. This has been teased for the past 4 weeks, thinking that Finn Balor is going to join. And Kyle O'Reilly extended his hand to Finn Balor, and they're all about to line up. Something fishy was going on because when Finn Balor was on that ramp, I'm waiting. Okay, here we go. Somebody's going to attack from behind. Maybe like the next number one contender, whatever, Karrion Kross possibly. But that didn't happen. We got Birch and Lorcan attacking him, throw him in the ring. UE comes to the save. And okay, it looked like, all right, this is going to happen. Finn Balor is going to put the UE symbol up and be ready to go and join the Undisputed Era. But no, Adam Cole. So I felt something was coming with him because I saw Adam Cole sort of distancing himself a little bit. I felt like he was motioning himself to get ready for that super kick. And sure enough, it came. And it somewhat caught me by surprise. And I loved every bit of it. And then he also turns on Kyle O'Reilly, too. So now I wonder what kind of dynamic this would have been like had Bobby Fish been in there. And only time will tell. We don't know when he's coming back. I would imagine within the next few months. But we see Kyle O'Reilly. He's knocked out by Adam Cole's kick. So this is a heel turn. Adam Cole has been acting like a tweener and a face for months now. So he's back. Definitely, this is a heel turn.
He needs to be a heel.
Safely say he's heel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's so good as a heel.
Roderick Strong. He's on the ropes, and now he's confused to what's going on. So, let's see where he lies. Maybe Finn Balor takes the place of Adam Cole as the leader of Undisputed Era, and Adam Cole, does his program and then maybe goes up to main roster. We'll see. That's a possibility. May not happen. We've been talking about Adam Cole for the past couple of years. Coming up, and he came up that one Friday Night SmackDown. But other than that, he hasn't been on the main roster yet. So, Tom, your thoughts on Adam Cole's turn tonight? I thought this was a nice touch, a nice ending to NXT, to a good wrestling show, but at the same time a little uneventful. And this turn gave us something to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I think. You said it right there. I mean, I think the best wrestling shows are the ones that make you want to watch what happens next. Like you said, there wasn't a lot of eventful things. That's okay. I think the wrestling here was absolutely incredible throughout the entire night. But we finally got to the end. We see Undisputed Era come out, make the save. Like you said, they lined up. Cole hits Balor with the super kick. And so I'm okay with them kind of redoing that feud. You can't go wrong with a Finn Balor Adam Cole match. I think those two could constantly tear the house down. And then we see the O'Reilly thing, and if anybody knows me, they know how much I love Kyle O'Reilly. I think he is so good. I'm so glad he got that chance to be a singles competitor have those matches against Balor.
Kyle O'Reilly Mark for a little while now.
For way too long, man. He's so good, and I've been wanting for so long to see an Undisputed Era Fatal 4-Way. If everybody's healthy and they can do it, you have to do it at some point. But while it may not come so quick, it seems like we're getting a little bit of a hint of it. Because if I could see Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor WrestleMania weekend, or not Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole.
It's just going to be a little weird having the Undisputed Era Fatal 4-Way without Bobby Fish.
Yeah, and
it's going to be weird because this is something that's been rumored for such a long time now.
Yeah.
The split of Undisputed Era, like the split in half, that's been rumored for a while now as well. On and off.
Yeah, I think you can hold off for a while because obviously, like you said, we really don't know when or if Adam Cole will ever make it up to the main roster. Seems like he doesn't really want to.
Nobody wants to.
Which is totally fine. So I think you have time to do that Fatal 4-Way, give Bobby Fish, allow him to, come back healthy. But just seeing O'Reilly be pushed as that single star and be able to have a program, or at least be hinted at a program with Adam Cole is awesome, man. I wonder, I assume that they'll do some sort of NXT title match at WrestleMania, one of the two nights. But even if they didn't, if you did a Roderick Strong match,
yeah, 2 nights. Maybe Finn does double duty.
He could. I really do think you could do a Balor and Balor O'Reilly versus Cole Fish, or Cole and Strong versus One and Danny Burch. Make it for the tag team titles in a ladder match or something. Put those 6 together. That's a hell of a match right there. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm glad that they went with this ending. They got us again with the little trademark on the bottom, and then something happens. So no, it was a really good ending to the pay-per-view.
I absolutely love the NXT endings like that. Typical NXT ending. You know when the match is over, you do not shut that show off.
You wait. Exactly.
We've learned this many times now.
You wait till
the end.
Next thing network starts.
You don't walk out of your room. You don't walk away from the monitor, look down your phone, go to the fridge. You wait and sit there and make sure that it goes on to the next show. Oh man. So I love it. Absolutely love it. It's going to be interesting. On the NXT end, this just made it a lot more interesting to the road to WrestleMania. Let's shift gears here. Let's talk the Women's Championship. Io Shirai versus Mercedes versus Toni Storm. Those of you guys that are watching, make sure you send this to your friends. Let them know that we are on talking NXT TakeOver. Good match here. Fell flat at the end. But this was kind of a hard one. I was still kind of leaning towards Io winning. I was leaning towards her winning. You can't bet against her. Every time you do lately, she just comes out on top. We don't know how long she's going to hold the title for. We just don't know that. Maybe they have plans to keep it on and have her keep it on for a year. We'll have to see. But so I thought maybe if the title was going to change, that quite possibly be Toni Storm. I didn't think Mercedes was going to get the belt here. I think I'm just not too sure if they're going to put that title on her right now, or if they have a plan for her at the moment. Great match.
Yeah,
Mercedes almost pulled the win, and Toni Storm almost pulled the win with her finishing move on Mercedes. But then we see Io Shirai with the moonsault on top of both Toni and Mercedes. Ending fell a little flat there, just a little bit at the end. Great match overall, though. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think this match was this would sound like a detriment because it was a good match. It really was an enjoyable match. Get ready for the main event. These women do fantastic. The only thing that kind of stunk for me was that table, flattening, just going out on it. So the table sold before Toni could do anything. I was kind of looking forward to see what they're going to do there. I love the spot where Io jumps off the balcony or scaffolding, whatever it was. You know, the higher part of the outside. I thought that was cool. I really enjoyed this match. You know, for what it was, it did seem a little short. You know, from everything else throughout the entire night seemed like it was, you know, in the 20 to 25 minute range. And I mean, it's tough to be in the middle. This is what I meant when it comes to a detriment. It's tough to be in the middle of a fantastic match for the men's Dusty Cup and the NXT Championship match that we saw at the end there. I mean, those two matches were just flat out phenomenal. But yeah, this match was really good. You know, I kind of wish it would have gone on a little bit longer, but I expect to see these three, you know, whether if it's, you know, one of them gets a shot again at EO, or if they do another triple threat, I expect to see their title chases continue up the next, you know, coming months into WrestleMania.
Before we go any further, shout out to our boys, Everything Pro Wrestling. Their podcast, they have their show weekly. I pop in every now and then on their show. They're giving a shout out to us, saying hello. We want to say hello back to you guys. Give you guys a little shout out. Those of you guys that are watching, check them out too. We're not the only podcast on the planet, although we'd like to be. But check them out. Very good guys. I've been watching them for a little bit now, and yeah. So now talk a little bit more about the women's match really quick before we move on. We have we saw the table give out. Tony Storm was just wiping the table, and we see the table give out, which I thought was a little odd for sure. So that was definitely a botch. Expect somebody was definitely going through that table for sure. But I liked how the girls played it off, and I lost Tommy for a moment, and he's frozen. So he'll be right back with us. But I like how the girls played it off. They immediately went into their spot with Io Shirai climbing up to the top of the scaffolds and doing a crossbody dive off the top and taking down Storm and Mercedes. So I thought that was a good little spot there. So everything else seemed to work out well. I just thought the match fell a little flat at the end. Somebody just commented me and messaged me that Undisputed Era is over. It might not be over, but there could be change. You know, we could see Finn Balor maybe become the leader, or Kyle O'Reilly when Fish comes back, just to kind of help boost up Kyle O'Reilly. So that very well could happen, and then Finn Balor be like the friends of theirs for sure. So, Tommy, welcome back.
We're back. Just, you know, nothing happened. That's all good. We're talking that NXT Women's Championship match.
So, yes. So basically, I had just finished. We talked about how Tony wiped off the table, and the table just gave out.
It didn't want to do it.
The girls played it off very well.
Yeah.
Io climbs to the scaffold. They went right to the next spot right away and jumped right off. And, you know, they kept the match going. But I just felt that match felt flat. And then really quick, I segued. What was I just talking about? Oh, somebody just messaged me on Facebook saying end of the Undisputed Era. I don't necessarily think that, because another idea, Tommy, that I was just telling these guys while I was waiting for you, was that this could be a way to help elevate Kyle O'Reilly, where maybe Kyle O'Reilly will become the next leader of Undisputed Era once you get Fish back, and depending on what Roderick Strong does, so something. You could probably do something there. It doesn't necessarily have to be the end of Undisputed Era, even though it might look a little different going forward. I
agree with you. I mean, we see factions kind of just change leaders all the time. I mean, look at DX is a great example. You know, Shawn Michaels leaves and Triple H takes it over and makes it a completely different honestly better faction. I think Undisputed Era has the ability to lose Adam Cole to the main roster, lose Adam Cole just in general. He goes and does his own thing, and still have a leader in, whether it is Finn Balor or if it is Kyle O'Reilly who takes up the spot, and still be a formidable faction in the NXT brand. I think Kyle O'Reilly has done such a good job in his time as this singles competitor over the last 6 or 8 months. And I think, like you said, that would be a really good,
way to elevate
start. Him. Yeah, a really good start. Because I think Kyle O'Reilly has the skills to be. Of course, this is me thinking way far ahead and probably being a little too too much of a fan of Kyle O'Reilly. He has the abilities to be a WWE champion. Now, will he ever be that? Probably not. But
it's just that the main event scene is. He has it. He has the ability. Yeah. It's just that the main event scene is crowded right now.
Yeah, exactly. And
you got Roman on SmackDown. They got
Drew.
Vince has got a special heart for him.
Yeah.
Raw is besides lackluster. Just thinking of words, but Raw could use new guys. They need to be fresh. They need new guys. So Kyle O'Reilly or anybody from NXT SmackDown needs to be left alone right now. They're doing good. Whatever's not fixed, whatever's not broke, don't fix it. Raw is clearly broken, and you need to fix it and get some more interest in there. So I think Raw could be a good opportunity for him.
Yeah, I think Kyle could be a good U.S. or Intercontinental title holder. I think he can be one of those guys who can give good matches, which he has every single time he goes out, and be a good character as well. Be somebody who has a little bit more character than, say, a guy like Bobby Lashley, who is the United States champion. Big E's got character. I think that's why he's done great as Intercontinental champion. I think that's why he's going to be, the future of the company in some form. Whether that is WWE champion or, whatever, it just stay in the mid-card. I think he's done a great job. But yeah, I think Kyle O'Reilly, whether he becomes leader of the Undisputed Era completely disbands, or they all four go up to the main roster, I think Kyle O'Reilly, outside of Adam Cole, is the best person in that group, who has the most potential to be successful in the main roster.
Absolutely. So we also had the North American Championship tonight. We had Johnny Gargano versus Kushida. What was a great match. I will not lie. I fell asleep right at the end. Right at the end. Like I knew who won the women's match. We'll talk about that in a moment. The tag match. Yeah. But I fell asleep for like 10, 15 minutes. So I definitely missed the entrances of Johnny Gargano, Kushida. I missed all that. I was busy sawing wood because I was comfortable in my bed watching my TV, leaned over and just sawing wood as usual. But yeah, I missed about right at the end of Dakota Kai and Raquel winning through the first couple minutes of Gargano Kushida. I didn't miss too much because I saw enough of it, and those guys tore the house down.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we talked about this yesterday. I just feel like there's not enough for me personally to connect me to Kushida. But great.
Damn, did he show up?
Throws one hell of an armbar though.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, this was. I wanted to say this at the top of the show because, and again, this is the recency bias. So of course, I'll have to go back and watch it. But I think the best way to sum up this pay-per-view is if you have not been following Takeover, NXT, anything for the past few months, and you want to sit down and watch a good 2.5 hour wrestling show, you got one of the best all-around cards in recent memory. I think every single match was different in its own right. I think this match was great technically. I mean, we all know that Johnny Gargano is fantastic in between the ropes. He can really sell you on that technical wrestling style. And Kushida, like you said, I mean, Kushida really, really went out. I was expecting him to win. If there was one title that I expected to change, it was this one. And it looked like he really, really almost had it. That he was just killing it the entire match. I thought the only thing that threw me off about this match was the amount of near falls, and I honestly think that was a kind of staple of the whole night. Was just there's so many near falls throughout the entire card, and I think that is good because it heightens the drama. But when you do it too much, it kind of gets predictable in a sense. But yeah, this match was really, really good.
I'm surprised we didn't see any interference there.
Yeah, Dexter Loomis got involved at the beginning, as I know you were saying you took a close snooze.
Okay, I missed. Yeah, because I didn't see Austin Theory, and I didn't see any of the way.
Austin Theory, so they were walking out, they have that little backstage by Gorilla. They were walking out towards the camera, going up the ramp, and then behind, Dexter Loomis comes behind Austin Theory with like a chloroform thing and kind of just takes him away, and nobody notices, but it was great. I love Dexter Loomis. But yeah, I expect...
I missed that. I would have laughed.
Honestly, I expect Dexter Loomis to be a really good contender for the North American Championship. I think he might be the
contender.
Guy.
If not, he is going to be a well-established character, I believe, in WWE. He's going to be... I think he has the potential of being a household name, like a household gimmick name, like a Boogeyman, like a Kane, like one of those guys. I don't guarantee title on him.
Yeah,
but he's becoming a household name.
There's a very large amount of my head that thinks that a Fiend versus Dexter Loomis match, just the build up to that and the match itself, because I'm sure they could go just absolutely bonkers, would be absolutely incredible. I think that match has money written all over it. Throw in Karrion and Cross too. Make it a triple threat. Those three would all tear the house down. But yeah, this was a really good match to just kind of go off of what happened in the first match, the women's Dusty Cup match, and lead into this one. I think this was a really, really solid match.
North American title definitely lived up. Gargano defeats Kushida with the DDT, emphatic DDT.
Yeah.
But now talking about the Dusty Cups, we'll save that for last as we start closing up the show. MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans for the men's Dusty Cup trophy. How about the Doomsday device onto Drake?
Yeah.
Onto Lee on the outside.
Yeah,
that was a great match.
If you never watched the Radicals in Impact Wrestling and you wondered, again, I did not expect them to get the win. I think we both predicted Grizzled Young Veterans.
Yeah, we both predicted.
Especially coming off the fact that they were in the Dusty Cup finals last year. And, MSK is the new team, but, pardon my language, there's a lot of times that I was sitting through this match saying, holy shit, Wes Lee, that dude... I don't think he missed an entire spot the entire match. I really think he was on point with his kicks. He was on point with, his jumpy things that I wish I could do. He was doing everything. The cartwheels right into the kicks, and they all looked really, really good. I mean, Grizzled Young Veterans did great. I love the opening promo. But yeah, MSK was a really surprising choice here. But damn, what a really good match. Again, you talk about that continuity through each match. You want to see good match after good match, and you come off that Kushida Johnny Gargano absolute bang over match, and you get into this. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. That was another really, really good match.
Yeah, a great match. It was exciting to watch. It was nonstop. Both tag teams worked very well together. Love Gibson and Drake, how they came out, and Gibson on the mic is just money.
Yeah, give him a mic every time.
Great tag team match there. The MSK quickly making a name for themselves.
Yeah.
And is it correct that they're now number one contender for tag titles?
Yes, for the NXT titles.
We confirmed that yesterday for the men's, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the women's get Nia and Shayna.
Yeah, so the winner of the women's match gets Nia and Shayna as of now, assuming they're still the tag team title holders by the time that match comes along.
That could be changed tomorrow. Who knows? Yeah. Charlotte could win the titles back again.
Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart for the Women's Dusty Cup and for the number one contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Titles. We see Dakota Kai and Gonzalez as expected. I think we predicted both.
Yeah, I think we both did.
We predicted that. That was a fairly easy one to call compared to all the other matches. Dakota Kai and Gonzalez looked great tonight. They won the cup. That kind of puts them over a little bit, gives them a little boost, and now they're going to get a little main roster shine.
Yeah.
Hopefully sooner than later. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe SmackDown, or maybe
pay-per-view WrestleMania.
Shayna and Nia Jax pay Dakota Kai and Raquel a visit NXT. But I would expect this match, if this is the match you're going with, to be right about WrestleMania weekend for sure.
Yeah, I'm like you said, I think this was the easiest match to predict, on the entire card. And it was good. I am just glad in general as a wrestling fan because we got to see, I think that's the best thing about these last few years is this women's revolution. We've had the Evolution pay-per-view, we had the Women's Royal Rumble, which is now something that we can look forward to every year. Now we have the Women's Dusty Cup. I think it's great just to be able to see so much more talent that wouldn't normally get on TV, just because, obviously the men are more of a staple in wrestling, and for women to get that opportunity to be on is really great. So I'm glad we got to see that, and I look forward to the next one. This was a really good choice to win the Women's Dusty Cup. I really enjoy the dynamic between Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Like I think I compared it to last night on our show, Shawn Michaels and Diesel, back in 94, 95. So I really, really, exactly. I really, really enjoyed this dynamic. I thought this was a good match, a really good end to the Dusty Cup. I'm interested more in the dynamic of, if, again, we don't know, what the actual match is going to be, but I'd love to see Shayna Baszler versus Raquel Gonzalez. I really want to see those two go at it. I think Raquel is, if there is somebody who you could kind of put a fast track on to take the title off of Io or, be a champion in the future, I think Raquel Gonzalez is that person. She's got the look. I think she's great in the ring. And yeah, man, I really enjoyed this match. But I'm just glad we got a Women's Dusty Cup because they really tore the house down here to open the show.
Great pay-per-view. Very good wrestled pay-per-view. Great wrestling we saw tonight. A little on the uneventful side as far as title changes go.
Yeah.
Until the very end, and that left us talking. And I kind of suspected something was going to happen because nothing really significant happened tonight until the very end. So I was very, very, very suspect about something that was about to go down, and sure enough, we saw Adam Cole turn.
Yeah.
So they gave us something to talk about, which is good. They gave us a great cliffhanger going into Wednesday.
They have all the momentum from the wrestling side, from the ending being a good storytelling side, and even from people just who didn't even appear on the show, who are still riding their own wave of momentum. NXT is riding really high going into WrestleMania season after this pay-per-view.
Absolutely. I can't disagree. I cannot disagree with you. So let me ask you this before we get off the air. Where do we go? What's next, in your opinion, for Adam Cole, for the Finn Balor with the title, for Johnny Gargano? I'm not as much concerned about the tag titles right now. We'll see where that goes. We have an idea. We just talked about where the women's going to go, probably.
Yeah.
But where do you think we go with Gargano, Finn Balor, and Adam Cole?
Gargano, again, I think it's time to do... Gargano's got to lose the title at some point. I mean, he has to. I know he's almost unbeatable at Takeover, which is incredible, but he's got to lose it at some point, and I think that Dexter Loomis is the guy. They've been teasing that, Dexter Loomis being, the foil to The Way. I would like that. I think Dexter Loomis is a great character. We've talked about that. I mean, Cole and Balor seem to be headed for a match, which would be fantastic. I'd love to see. You can almost always expect a ladder match at WrestleMania, whether that's a multi-man match or, just a single or a tag team or whatever. I think this would be a fantastic match to do a ladder match in. I think their rivalry has taken place over the last year and a half, and if they did go that way, that would be a really good way to kind of make sure you don't get stale and you don't do the same stuff as you've done in the past. But also, it really just depends on what they decide to do with that tag team, or with the NXT title, because you could do a 2-on-2. You could do a Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor versus Strong in Adam Cole, in a few weeks. Or you could save that for WrestleMania if you don't want to use the NXT title on one of the WrestleMania nights. So I think there's a lot of options to go with there. Again, we still haven't talked about Karrion Kross. We don't know how he's going to be, after his match with Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight title. Non-title, excuse me. But I'm sure
we don't want that.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be something where he'll get back in the main event picture. Cameron Grimes has kind of been hinted at again. There's a lot of people. It seems we talk a lot about how good AEW's depth is, but I mean, yeah, exactly. That was one of the best moments of the night was that music video that he did to the moon. But no, NXT just has a wealth of talent, and I'm really excited. This pay-per-view really got me excited for their push, not yet knowing if there's going to be a pay-per-view around WrestleMania for NXT. So getting them on that card and seeing the matches that could come out of that, I'm really, really excited for it.
Well, we definitely have a lot to look forward to. Like I said, NXT left us with a cliffhanger. So this is going to be the main storyline going into WrestleMania, apparently, which is awesome. Can't wait to see how this plays out. Great storytelling right here. Other than the Roman Reigns storyline, you really can't say that too often in WWE shows, but this was great. Anything that Triple H and Shawn Michaels does is almost all the time going to be awesome.
Yeah. And they should be proud of this show. Everybody on that show should be proud of what they put on, because that's one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a long time, at least in recent memory.
Well, we are on the road to WrestleMania. Next week we got Elimination Chamber. Is that right?
That is correct.
Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Man, that doesn't... So many pay-per-views happening in the next couple of weeks. It never slows down around this time, but we love it.
Yeah, we got Elimination Chamber next week. The road to WrestleMania continues. We'll be back on with a post-show next week and a podcast sometime this week. We'll see what day that will be. But to those of you guys that are watching or about to watch, make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel.
Yes, sir.
Help us out, please. If you like listening, if you like our show, if you've been watching every week, make sure you please share this with your friends and family and have them hit the subscribe button. And we're also available on Twitter, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. If you can't watch, you have the option to listen. And those shows appear on the podcast usually a day or two after our live show. But to those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much for your support. And we will be back on this week. Tommy, thank you so much for hopping on tonight.
Thanks for having me again, man. Appreciate it.
What a night. What a weekend of wrestling. And it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Man. It's going to be good. We're excited. We lost Wayne there to end the show, but that's all good. We're going to bring it in here for landing. Excited to look forward to see what comes up, in the next few weeks with NXT and AEW and Raw and SmackDown as we move forward into Elimination Chamber next week, like we said, followed by AEW Revolution, the return of Sting.
Forgot about that, Revolution. Yeah, ooh.
Beginning of March, and then we got Fastlane right after, and then we're there at WrestleMania. So, yeah, man, was just bringing it in for landing, but we're excited to bring another podcast here next week, and I'm ready to continue to see the growth of Deep Six Pro Wrestling. So thank you again for everybody who listens, shares, watches, subscribes. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Those you guys are watching, you guys have an awesome night, and we'll see you later this week.